everybody, welcome back to my channel. The holidays are now over, and if you're anybody besides me, you probably have your Christmas decorations down by now, and you were thinking about how you want to go into the new year. It is New Year resolution time. And this is a very hopeful time for a lot of people. They come up with grand plans on how they want their year to go. A lot of those goals and resolutions have to do with fitness. I want to be in better shape. I want to lose so much weight. I want to be able to do this race. I want to be able to do this, that. Basically, I want to be a prime specimen of human flesh. I would say is probably the gist of most New Year's resolutions that have to do with fitness or your health. So that is what we're going to talk about today. I've been hearing from a lot of different people what their resolutions are, what they're scared of with the resolutions, because as we all know, resolutions can become a big joke in about a month when everybody kind of forgets about them, and they all go to the resolution graveyard and die. This time of year, the gyms are full. I used to go to 24-hour on a regular basis almost every day, and I had my little gym crew there, and we would make fun of the people that showed up in January and be like, why is it so busy? Like, all these people are going to disappear by February. We can go back to our normal lives, not fight for machines. And invariably it was true. Few of them stuck it out, but most of those people gave up. I feel bad about saying those things now because all those people had goals and they had things that they wanted to accomplish. And instead of helping them out, I derided them. Because I knew what was going to happen. And so that's why we are going to be discussing that today. Oh my goodness, there is a tailless squirrel on my wall. I wonder how he lost his tail. I almost thought it was a rabbit. Anyway, so let's talk about resolutions, why we make them, how we keep them, and a good way to implement them. So something about this time of year, we're restarting the clock. In the grand scheme of things, we're in the middle of winter. It's not really like a new start of anything. Back in the day, people were trapped inside and it was cold and dark, and they thought about all the things they needed to accomplish when the cold and dark was over. I could guess that's kind of where the resolution started. It was more survival. Now it's more like hopes. Like, I want to be in better shape. I want to lose weight. I want to be able to do a 5K, whatever. So when I hear people's resolutions, I hear a lot of really big ideas. They have the end picture. They're like, I want to lose 30 pounds. You can't think that way. You can have an idea in your head of what the ending is, but you can't put that huge goal on yourself at the beginning. That becomes overwhelming. And when you don't see the progress that you want to see, that's how resolutions die. So talking to a few people, they were like, I want to have these big goals, but I'm so scared of how I'm going to get there and about failing. And that's why when you have a fitness journey, you got to do it in increments. So I don't know if I've used this analogy here before. I believe I have. I tell it to people all the time, especially my team. When you're trying to start a fitness journey, not a fad, not a diet, because a lot of people will do that. They'll be like, oh, I'm going to go on a diet and lose this weight. And then they do. They lose 10, 15 pounds. That's awesome. But it's not sustainable because the way you did it is not sustainable. There's no way that you're going to be able to cut all sugar out of your life for the rest of your life by doing it cold turkey all at once. There's no way you're going to be able to, oh, there he goes again. There's no way you're going to be able to do these huge things and not feel overwhelmed and not fail at it eventually because you feel like you're not making progress. I used to do this to myself all the time. I came up with a resolution sheet like this long. I was like, I'm going to drink this much water a day. I'm going to do this many races a year. I'm going to only eat this many calories. I'm going to institute this diet. I'm going to go to the gym this many days. Okay, all those are awesome things, but to try to do them all at once without having started any of them to begin with is overwhelming. There's no way you're going to be able to sustain that. I mean, a few people can, I'm sure. Like if you are super determined and you have all the time in the world, yeah, you can accomplish anything you want. But for most people, you have kids, you have jobs, you have, life coming at you. And you're not always going to be successful at what you set out to do that day, let alone what you set out to do that year. So make your goals small, make them attainable, make them so that you can see an accomplishment within a few weeks and not, I'm going to lose 30 pounds by summertime. And then each day, each week, each month that goes by, you're losing, maybe a couple pounds here or there. And you're always like, well, I still have until summer. And then all of a sudden it's the middle of May and you still have 28 pounds to lose. And then you feel stressed out. No. So start out small. Start out like you're juggling. Throw one ball in the air. Pick one thing that's going to be attainable and that you can turn into a habit. So I can say, I'm going to try to drink more water. I have this one water bottle. I'm going to make it through this one water bottle every single day. That's something that's attainable. Once you start doing that, then it becomes a habit. And that's something that becomes part of your life. And you don't have to worry about it anymore. Then you can say, I'm going to make it through 2 water bottles. Or you can add another goal in. Like this time I'm going to only eat so many calories a day. And make it something that's doable. A lot of people I know will start, they'll go from eating 2,000, 2,500 calories a day and be like, I'm only going to eat 1,000 calories a day. Your body's not going to be able to handle that. So, be like, I'm only going to eat 1,800 calories a day. And stick to that. Get on MyFitnessPal or some other calorie counter and do that. You can say, I'm going to go to the gym at least twice a week, every week this month. That's something that's attainable. And once you've established that, it becomes a habit, a pattern, something that is part of your life. And then you can add in another habit, another pattern, until you completely transform your life from where you were doing nothing and, being unhappy. And it's slow progress, but measurable progress. You can say, I'm going to lose, 1 pound this week. And chances are you're going to lose more than that if you put your plan in motion. But as long as you attain that 1 pound, you've accomplished something. And if you don't, it's something that's small enough that you can catch up. It's not something that's overwhelming or too big. And I think that's the problem with people's resolutions is they make them too big. They try to do everything all at once. They get discouraged when they don't see progress right away, and then they fail. And by the middle of February, that gym's empty, and we have a lot of unhappy people who just feel like a failure. So let's get this going. Small things. Like my overall goal is by April, I need to be below 30% body fat. I believe I'm around 36% right now. I'm going to be embodying tomorrow. I can post that. And I want to have 70 pounds or more muscle on me. And if I accomplish those 2 things, I should be around 165 pounds. That's my overall goal. That's what I want to accomplish by April. Okay? How am I going to get there? How am I going to do that? The first thing I'm going to do is go back onto calorie restriction. I have been eating everything and anything that is near me, and most of it is unhealthy carbs like cinnamon rolls and peppermint bark and cookies and anything else I can fit in my mouth and not want to vomit by the end of the day, which has been basically my life since Thanksgiving. It has not been pretty. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to try to eat less than 1,800 calories a day. That's doable because I'm sitting around 2,500. Okay, I really should be at like 1,600, but I'm going to go down to 1,800 first. I'm going to be consistent at the gym, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. In a few weeks, I will add in Tuesday, Thursday, but I need to get consistent first. And once I've got those going, I need to drink more water. Okay, let's stick that in there. When I go to the gym, I automatically drink more water. So that's a twofer. I can accomplish 2 goals at once. And once I've got all that going, then I can start adding back in the little more advanced stages, restricting my carbs until I get back down into my keto zone, adding more workouts, adding different kinds of workouts. I go to my standard gym, maybe I throw in some boxing, maybe I throw in some yoga here or there, maybe I start running, our local parks. I can add those workouts once I am standard in my other ones. If I try to do it out all at once, I would fail. It's not going to happen. And then once I do that, I'm back into intermittent fasting until I'm all the way back down in my groove. And then your goals naturally happen. I will hit that goal without actually trying for that specific goal, because the things that I'm going to do are going to lead me to it. And that's all you got to do. So don't focus on, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. That's an admirable goal, but how are you going to do it? And how are you going to measure it? Do things incrementally. Now, I have to do this by the middle of April because I got Comic-Con tickets again for July, and I really want to dress up this year. I had those plans last year. I was on a roll for it, and then my flare hit, and I was in the hospital, and there was no way that any of that was going to happen. But so far, I am really healthy. I'm looking forward to this. I have got specialized costumes picked out on Etsy. They need to be made to specific measurements. It's not just, a $50 costume I bought off of Amazon or Costume Express. I want like the hardcore, nice, fully made for me. And in order to do that, I need to have exact measurements. In order to get the measurements I want, I need to accomplish this. So in order for me to look fly and cut and swole and whatever other adjective there is out there by the time this comes around in July, I need to have accomplished it by April and then maintain till July so that the costumes have enough time to be made to my specifications. Those are my goals. So how am I going to do it? I've already told you. That's my progression. So the first thing I'm going to do starting tomorrow is go back to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday and start calorie restriction. Part of the calorie restriction is eating out less. Like we DoorDash and get takeout all the time because during the holidays, we've just been so crazy busy and doing all this other stuff. I didn't have time to cook. So I need to get back in the kitchen. I've started back in my garden. I'm growing my own food again. Right now it's just herbs because it's winter time, but eat my healthy whole foods and cook at home. And that will automatically lead to my calorie restrictions. So that's where my plan is. Start cooking at home more, using my fresh natural ingredients, go to the gym. Going to the gym will lead to drinking more water. There you go. So in the next, I would say 6 weeks, I'm hoping to lose about 7 to 10 pounds. So let's see if we can do it. Anyway, I hope everybody else has great resolutions out there. I hope that you don't put too much stuff on yourself and feel overwhelmed. Start out small, start out measurable, start out with something that will be a small adjustment in your life that you can make a habit and then build from there. And I hope everybody has a good, happy New Year's. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.